2024, friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums.
Actually, there is a gong on this Metallica album. If you wanted to start us out with a gong, please.
Oh, that is true.
This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. Listen,
the order.
I've already gotten in trouble tonight for being too loud. Okay, and I have live proof of it that I will be playing later for you. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. All opinions are. What's that?
Did you get a hamstring cramp when you were being too loud?
Yeah. Are you a loud lover?
If my kink was getting yelled at by my wife all week, I would have some creamy jeans. I'm just going to say, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, kids, fast forward 15 seconds if you're listening to Daddy's episode. Shoot, I should have said that earlier. I'll put that earlier. We are up to album 235. And from 1991, we have the album that makes us act like saying enter light was a normal phrase that everybody said. It's not. It took me years to figure out he's saying enter light. It never made sense to me. Nobody, who's ever said enter light?
This is an album that I sing along with so loud, and I probably know 60% of the words, maybe. And I sing loud anyway.
I'll tell you, half the lyrics are, yeah.
Actually, Rob, you were saying this multiple times. I believe it's enter night.
Yeah, exit
light.
What? Enter night.
It's exit light.
Exit light.
No, exit light, enter night. So I
kind of
not to be a rule follower, but
well, if there's anything that I've stared at in so many classrooms in my life, it is the exit light. I cannot tell you how many exit signs I've stared at in various rooms when I've been in the world's most boring meetings of all time. I'm just like, oh, this is the worst. I'm looking at the exit. Is it red? Is it green? There's so many exits out there. What's your favorite exit, guys?
You know, there's only one exit that can be the favorite.
What's that?
Exit 69, Northfield, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, Northfield.
Exit 69.
Where would that be, Matt? It's going down 35 in between
35, it's south of where 35E and 35W meet. For the first time, but then you get down to Dallas and there's 35E, 35W again. It goes around Dallas. So there is two 35E, 35W.
You really? Down in Texas? I didn't know that.
Matt, how do I get there? I live at the Big Steer. How would I get there exactly? I am eating so many hash breakfast stuff. What was the thing at the Big Steer? That was a truck stop by our college. What was their big meal? It was like the hash.
I believe that there was the meal was the Lounge Lizard Special. Rob,
was it really called that? No. You got me, Russell. You had me on that. I don't remember any. I had meals at the Big Steer, but I don't remember any of them.
Russell just sent me a text saying the Lounge Lizard Special was 2-day-old tuna fish sandwiches. Russell, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's too much. Can you imagine if one of our friends would have gotten a hand job at the truck stop by saying, "Oh my God!"
If you had to guess which one did, which would you pick?
Oh,
you can't pick one of us. You got to pick someone off, but you can't use their first name. Refer to him like it's some sort of story that only we will know.
Okay. Miss Makeupson. You know how many times we skipped the Big Steer to go to Perkins? Like we were here's a local establishment. We're like, no, we need to go get Moons Over My Hammies or whatever. The Tremendous 12.
Yeah, we didn't go to the Big Steer till almost like our junior year. And then you're like, this is only a 5-minute drive and it's right here.
Right. And it's like,
the same greasy stuff.
Oh, I love it. I love a good gas station. I'll tell you, the Clear Lake combined gas station, restaurant. Have you guys been there? They've got the giant donuts. They've got the giant sandwiches. Clear Lake
on 94, a little north of like Rogers. And
that would be called Nelson Brothers, Rob.
Oh, listen, when I brought Suzanne in from New York.
I thought you were my Clear Lake, Iowa.
No, never. I hate that place. We stopped at Clear Lake, Minnesota, and got some big sandwiches, and they were...
Did you stop at Clearwater or Clear Lake? Because Clear Lake is the home of McDonald's Meats, which has one of the greatest beef jerky of all time. Clearwater has the big exit. You know which one you stayed at?
So Clearwater
is... Off 10 or off 94?
I'm going off 94, Matt. You know I'm getting on Clearwater. Going over to Clear Lake because I do get on the...
Play the maps. Somebody around here knows their maps.
I do get over to 10 that way, though.
When we have a guys' weekend in Minnesota, I need a beef jerky tour. Your favorites?
Well, there's a couple.
Yeah.
Listen, McDonald's is the OG for me because my grandparents used to have a trailer on a little lake up there, and we'd go to McDonald's meets every time on the way to Grandpa Bill and Grandma Ruth's cabin up there.
Can I just tell you, Aaron, I went on Craigslist and signed up for a beef jerky tour on there. And I can tell you, it was not what I expected, the beef jerky tour on Craigslist. Honestly, it was mostly Russian bathhouses. I don't know. Is there any worse place to get jerked off by a strange guy than a bathhouse? It's so hot in there. It's so humid. I can barely catch my breath.
I got a new one last week though. I went to a bachelor party, but you guys didn't care last episode. Rob, he didn't care about any of my things. So we went to a bachelor party and we stopped at the butchery of Maple Lake. Wow, so we were up in Annandale. We stopped in Maple Lake at the butchery, which had phenomenal wild rice brats for lunch. They were great. We got some beef jerky too.
Now, Matt, do you know anybody who used to work at Maple Lake?
It's a retroactive rolling going.
No.
Yes, you do. Me.
You worked in Maple Lake.
Yes, I was a teacher there. Working
Isn't that
at
the one
Maple
where you
Lake.
didn't show up for the first day and they fired you?
You guys, I cannot do the chronology of where. I swear, Rob's been teaching for.
Let's do it. Let's go through right now.
20 years, and he's taught in 25 places.
You almost worked at Richfield.
Job number one. No, Richfield was my student teaching, where I did not contact the teacher. I showed up and stayed half the day for a teacher's in-service. Asked the principal, "Excuse me, where is this teacher?" And they said, "He does not work here anymore. He does not work here." And also, who are you and how did you get in here? And why are you eating so many deviled eggs? You brought them. Why did you bring them in and eat them yourself?
That's an awful lot of paprika.
Then I get my first job, Aaron, where my wife and I are living in Uptown. Where else would we like to live? And this joke, by the way, if you're not from Minnesota, this joke is not going to hit. Where does my Uptown big city wife want me to come get a job and live? Warroad, Minnesota, the Canadian border.
The furthest from Uptown possible.
That is where, Aaron, now listen to this, guys. I went up with my dad and bought a house.
Yeah.
I bought a house without my wife. I picked a house without my wife.
I did not know you bought a house up there.
It was a little house on the prairie type shit where I was like, fuck this. I'm doing this myself. You guys can come out when I got sod on the ceiling. Yeah. And then my wife taught with me up there. And I said, listen, I'm a professional teacher. I've taken classes at St. Olaf where I mostly paid attention. If you need help, please ask me. She instantly was a better teacher than me. She got lots of credit, and it was an absolute nightmare. Then I went to the Iron Range.
And that's where the graffiti was dedicated to her as well?
That was where somebody wrote in the school bathroom, Ms. Blank has big tits and I want to hold them.
Oh.
Which again was a classic.
Highlight.
Also the bathroom, by the way, where it said, one sign said, look up. And then when you looked up, it said, why are you looking up here? The joke is in your pants.
Oh.
A classic bit.
Pretty clever.
If you could go back, there was no cell phones back then because that's how old we were. Well, maybe there were cell phones then, but I don't know if there was camera phones like take pictures. Mm-hmm. And you could take a picture of that graffiti on the and then have a blown up photo of that in your bathroom right now. You do that in a heartbeat.
Can I just say this? I would lose any of these three fingers right here to do that. If I could go back and take that picture and have it, it would be worth one of these. Then I was in the Iron Range for a couple of years. And then I taught.
Where did you teach?
Evelyn Gilbert. Okay. Of course, Gilbert, home of the Gladiator, the strip club named the Gladiator, which is a classic story I've told in the past. Then I moved to Vermont. Lived up there for a little bit. That was, of course, a classic story where I did not have a job. And I took my kids to the beach and all the women started talking about their menstruations anytime I got too close. So they didn't want to hang out with me. That was a rough one. That's also
where you took your kids to the orgy, right?
Well, okay. It was pre-orgy. And an orgy broke out after we were there. Okay?
After you got the kids out of there?
Well, yeah, mostly. I mean, I kind of had I backed up really slowly. Can you imagine backing a car from a party and just see people, and I hate to describe this to you guys, but it's just flesh on flesh. Hey, carnal delights, and you're backing up with the lights going in. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Where have I gone wrong?
I hate having kids. Although if I was in the orgy, they'd probably be like, hey, can you just hold the camera? And don't point it down as your dong like it's a first person thing. It's not a POV. Matt, give me a high five for that one. Matt, what were you saying, by the way?
Oh, what?
Then I went out, I went back and taught in my hometown. And that is, of course, where I worked with the English teacher who all he had in his office was pictures of senior girls taped to his room. That was cool. That was very cool.
By senior girls, you mean like older women?
Yeah, I do. And they have to be from Mexico because it was senior girls. I don't know. I didn't put the tilde. That's my bad.
That's funny.
Now and then now, of course, I work in New York, and my life is a living hell that has never going to change.
But where's Maple Lake?
Maple Lake in there? Yeah.
Yeah. The whole point of the story.
Let's see, that was
if the listeners could have seen Rob laugh at that. Oh yeah,
that was after the Iron Range for a year. I hated that job. That was a job where I got observed by a math teacher. And I had to solve math problems on the board. And she was like, what the fuck are you up to? And I was like, I don't know. X equals X? I mean, get out of here. Now, listen, Russell, stop trying to extend this episode. Okay? It's not because we're just doing a single tonight that I'm talking so long. Let's get and just.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Matt just wants to ensure you got to get that buffer at the beginning and to make sure.
Okay, there's no here we go. Ready? No, I'm prepared for the other one too. We could do Daft Punk tonight. I prepared. We're set. I've got to listen to everything.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Oh my God. That's just what my girlfriend said to me.
You're breaking up?
Yeah, she was a trucker, Russ, and we were over CB, and she went out of range.
Never sorry again.
We're gonna break up at the big steer tonight. We gotta break up at the big steer. There is a man driving fast down 35W.
He's got a sweater on.
Listen, okay, don't think I haven't thought about my life as a trucker. Okay, roaming from town to town.
What would be your? Would you do the honk when I drove by and asked for the big honk?
Absolutely not, Russell. Against the regulations, cannot be doing the honk. Okay, I'm eastbound and down. Okay, but I am following the rules. Let's turn on K-Rob, K-R-O-B, and see what's on. Maybe it's a song that somebody worked on and got yelled at by his wife about. So we get to the trip, and the woman goes, okay, everybody, tomorrow we've got a big hike, so make sure your water bottles are all filled and that you brought your electrolytes from the packing list. I'm not reading a packing list before I go on a trip. I am a teacher. I am in charge of the trip. Number 2, don't have any electrolytes. Guess what? I don't need electrolytes. I'm a world fucking champion, almost powerlifter. Within the first 100 yards, I realized there's a problem. There is a problem. And the problem is my body. This is like trying to turn a Ferrari into a taco truck. You know what I mean? I can't do the work. I am for show. I've drank all my water. I've drank the water of the teacher that I'm with, and my hamstrings are terrible. No electrolytes, Russell. This turned out to be quite a large mistake. Both hamstrings cramp up. I have to lie on the ground. No, just roll around. And my co-teacher is stretching me. Look at me in my black linen pants. Getting stretched around by a 62-year-old Spanish teacher that did the same hike I just did and is doing just fine.
We'll do a hike. It'll be fun. You'll be sweating in the hot, hot, hot sun. We'll begin. We'll ascend. Now we're hiking. You feel it in your buns. Then your legs start cramping.
Oh, yeah.
And your hamstring is tight. You pack too light. Yeah. You need electrolytes. You start to barely stand. Now your legs are cramping up again.
When you want to hear about the greatest
John from Edina is falling on the floor somewhere right now.
You can actually hear where Rob, like Metallica, went away from his previous thrash metal albums and is now in his pop and more pop accepted phase. Heavy.
You can hear it. Heavy pop.
MTV ready. MTV ready songs.
It's true. I mean, I'm not hating.
Me putting my voice over that karaoke track sound totally normal there. That didn't sound weird at all. Didn't make me wish I'd spent more time maybe mixing that a little bit. I've got Russell in Minneapolis. Russell, how are you doing?
Rob, judge not. Let ye be judged yourself.
Wow. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing?
Good. I just want to say that the host of this episode, he tries to please them all. This bitter man he is.
Yes. Wow. I'm not bitter. Okay.
No, you're not.
It's just things haven't gone how I wanted in my life, and I'm furious.
But I had like 10 seconds to look up a lyric, and that's the first one I saw.
There you go.
So.
Rob, I also had to say,
I would have said enter night.
You labeled me, I labeled you, so I dubbed thee the main host.
He says I dubbed the Unforgiven. I always thought they had done the Unforgiven.
I think it's I dubbed thee.
I dubbed the. That makes so much sense. I dubbed the Unforgiven. I'm gonna learn a lot tonight. Gonna learn a lot.
Russell,
I dubbed the Unforgiven.
Label me, label you. Russell, does Matt own a label maker? What do we think?
I'm gonna say no.
Matt does not own a label maker.
Maybe his wife might. His wife might be kind of crafty.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's got something. Like I'm gonna say there is one in the house.
Okay, Aaron, what do you think? Does Matt own a label maker?
I'm going to say yes. Matt owns his own label maker.
Yeah,
there's more than one in the house.
There's 100% chance Matt's house has a label maker. That baby's getting put up. I guess labels all over the place. Matt, you own a label maker?
I personally do not own label maker, but yes, my wife got some sort of Instagram thing or something, or Amazon that allows her to do something on her phone and then prints it out real nice and pretty. She really got it for like the kids stuff for like school and everything. But yes, there is a label maker inside of my house.
Can I tell you, I cannot go on Instagram at work anymore. The Instagram reels that pop up in between the posts are now simply too dirty. It is simply too much. It is just women kissing women in the kitchen. It's terrible.
I thought you couldn't go on Instagram anymore because you're too busy on the sports betting site, texting your sports betting friends, and you just don't have enough time in between your sports betting and classing to look at Instagram.
Although I have been doing that at my desk recently at work. Just opening up the app and placing bets.
I know.
Just don't care anymore. Just do
is there a lot of sports betting going on that I don't know about?
No, there's none. And then it's fine. And we don't have a bunch of systems that we're working and now aren't working.
It's weird how that happens.
I'm telling my kids, like, listen, some guys do 5 years of high school. That's fine. Okay. These tariffs are killing your dad. All right.
The losing is the exception that proves the rule.
I paid $1,000 for this General Tso's chicken. That doesn't even make sense to me. All right. Listen. And I've got Aaron out in California now. Aaron was recently dating a girl whose kink was flash freezing his penis. Yeah, they broke it off.
Oh. Hush, little baby.
I wish I had to edit out what I had to edit out last week. Aaron, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I wish I had to edit out the part where we were making fun of your penis.
Oh. No one's making fun of my penis. It's never happened. No one has ever made fun of my penis. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff I'd quote from this album. Can you believe we're talking about this album? Like, why even talk about it? Let's just play the whole fucking album.
Play it in the background. Yeah,
it brought me back to the weight room in college. That's for sure.
Right
now,
6th grade. I mean, MTV, the whole thing.
Let's get right into the voicemail.
We got one?
What's up, everybody?
People call this show?
I just remembered what our voicemail is, and you guys got to give me 1 second.
I will say,
out that all the time Rob has been saying the voicemail line is full.
No, you don't talk over this.
Well, he didn't realize that.
I was going to say, I know the upstairs roommate occasionally has left a voicemail or a Bex. We might not be getting those much anymore. She is now on delay like 4 or 5 days in our podcast because she literally listens to like 25 different NBA podcasts. Wow. Like every NBA podcast and every Timberwolves podcast.
How is she feeling about this first round against the Lakers? What's her take?
Aaron, I can't tell you because she was upstairs recording and watching the end of the Atlanta Hawks Miami Heat playing games tonight.
Hey, Russell, I hate to say this, but I think it's time to break it off. That's okay. It's something like you might be dating. Russell is simply dating a younger version of himself. You know what I mean? Like, he's dating young Russell, who used to watch a lot of basketball. Oh, Russell, I got to admit.
Amazing.
I hate to say it, but it's pretty hot. If I came home, my wife was watching the playoffs and be like, this is a play-in game. I'd be like, whoa, these
Rob
jeans.
Records it.
Yeah.
Calls me to say she's going to pause it at 6 minutes to go in the game because it's a good game and we should watch the end together.
Wow. Russell. This song, what the fuck is this song?
She wants to share it with you, though?
Yes.
That's very nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah. What are we waiting for, Russell? What are we waiting for?
Yeah, come on, Russell.
Yeah, it feels like checks all the boxes.
I'm going to need a better prenup negotiator, Matt.
Oh, Russell, just sign the prenup she's giving you. Don't be offended by it, Russell. Just sign it. Come on. Okay, don't. Now, here's the deal. Wait, you're hitting me with a prenup? I'm hitting you with a prenup. We're going double prenup. We're prenupping each other.
Me, I'll prenup you.
I was out with this is probably a year ago. I was out with the roommate, some of her friends. We went to a few bars, and some friends in the group had been recently going through some divorces.
Oh,
and these people were talking about all the money they were going for and all this stuff. I was like, oof.
Boy. Nope. Scary stuff.
Not a good conversation here.
No, Russell's like, okay, how do I change this conversation away from this topic? Because
how do I get the money?
Yeah. And Russell
Turks
said,
and Caicos.
do you want to have a threesome?
No.
I've put all the revenue from this podcast into a living trust that we will be joint beneficiaries for.
In the Caymans.
Russell, there's one way to do this. I know one guy that did it this way, and he is no longer married. So take this with a grain of salt, but everything was fine. Everything was fine. They were planning the wedding, have everything going. About 4 days before the wedding, here's the prenup.
Wow.
Sign it or I'm not getting married.
Whoa.
Kind of a thing. So, then it'll get signed pretty darn quick when she's pot committed.
Yeah, Russell.
So
Get her ass, Russell.
Did he make her pay for the wedding too? Because then he'd really have her over a barrel.
right.
Wow.
Yep.
This is such a fun way to think about marriage, Russell.
Speaking of divorces, I was reading about this album that 3 of the 4 band members were going through divorces.
Yeah.
During the recording of it. And it's made me start wondering, like, what would one of our episodes be if all 3 of you guys were going through that at once?
I mean, it would have more commercials, just like this had all the commercial hits.
I would be sharing it to my personal Instagram, thinking that this is going to give me some dates. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's time, just like Russell's with somebody now who watches the NBA, I got to be with somebody who listens to this podcast. That would be step 1 on my dates, Russell. I would give them a copy of my podcast, have them listen to it, see what they think.
It went back in my dating days, Rob. I did share that the podcast existed, and there was one really bad experience where I told her I actually played your Michael Jackson song, for Thriller, and she asked about if we talked about all the real stuff with Michael Jackson. I said we didn't really do that. With the podcast is more meant to be fun, and that was the last time we went out.
We've got, guys, I have to tell you, for the first time ever, we have a Beckline email. This is an email to beckdiditbetter@gmail.com. I had to sweep away the cobwebs. Okay. I had to get in there, kind of clean it out. Okay.
Was it your junk?
When was this sent? When was this sent?
This was sent, believe it or not, April 9th.
Our
So it's
Becksters
recent.
are sliding into Rob's DMs.
And here's a little clue. This was sent at 6:38 a.m. Okay. So who would send a text to this? Guys.
Oh, it looks very long.
Thank you, Russell. Now, let's play this voicemail. Let's see how much we want to get through.
Hi there. Greetings from Spain.
Oh.
Longtime listener and first-time caller here. I'm one of the dumb shit listeners who's been following you since the very beginning without really understanding all the inside jokes, but enjoying the podcast and doing
What?
the music quest with you while I work out at the gym.
Wow.
No.
Okay, so first of
Sometimes-
all,
What?
this is a guy in Spain. I'm assuming
This
it's
is
a guy.
a
by
real
the way.
person who
This is
started
a
listening.
real person who is listening to the podcast and working out.
Wow.
Como estás with your life? What is going on that you are in such a deep place of pain that this is motivating you to work out?
Como estás with your life?
Who,
That's our t-shirt.
who,
We ever have a t-shirt, that's going to be the t-shirt.
can you imagine? You're in Spain. You listen to this podcast. You go, yep, this is the one for me. I'm going to listen to this. At the
every
gym.
day.
I need some motivation at the gym.
Como estás with your life?
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go.
Sometimes I will just laugh out loud and people will look at me, but I don't care.
Yes.
Wife swapping will always remain one of my favorite bits of the show, and I miss Russell's dating advice corner, but I'm happy that he found love upstairs.
Now, in a parentheses, not said there was dating a pregnant woman. That was hilarious. So, Russell, you're dating a pregnant woman, a.k.a. the human submarine, a.k.a. a motorcycle and a sidecar. That story has made it across the ocean to a different country. Somebody has listened to that and now knows you for dating the pregnant woman, Russell. We are like Pitbull. We are like Pitbull. We are worldwide.
I stayed for the whole date. That came out within the first 15 minutes.
I mean, he's a gentleman.
We went to the Copperhead. Copperhead's probably the best brunch spot in Minneapolis.
You gotta
I had to
stay and get
stay.
your waffles,
What am I
man.
going to do? I'm not going to pound that Moscow
I was
Mule. and
suspicious
just
that
walk out.
when she sat down in the booth, she went, I don't remember Lamaze. I don't remember the breathing. I did the class for the first kid, and by the time the second kid came, we were like, man, we're good. And to be honest, it was fine. Second kid slid right out there. It was crazy. It was like a bobsled. Now,
Jamaica.
Let's keep going here.
We missed our birthing class because my kid was
Wife swapping.
You missed your birthing class. God.
He was born the day before the birthing class.
Eric's like,
who is the birthing class the day before? Shouldn't you do that like a whole weeks before?
He was 4 weeks early, so
listen,
he was supposed to do the
that
birthing.
shit too late. If your kid is born before your birthday class, you fucked up already.
Yeah,
that
I know.
shit is too late.
We tell him that all the time. What were you doing, man? You should have waited 4 weeks.
Aaron's like, don't take any breaths. Oh my God, I didn't take the class. I don't know what to say.
Hold it in. Yeah. Just hold it in the breath.
Yeah. Okay, the baby's coming in. Oh, I didn't take the class. I don't know what's going on.
Pull. No pushing. Pull.
Why can't this kid change my diaper?
I got to go. That's what I said at my. All right. Let's get back to the email.
Wife swapping will always remain one of my favorite bits of the show, and I miss Russell's dating advice corner, but I'm happy that he found love upstairs.
Yeah.
I also need to say that you guys hate most of the music I love, which gets me so frustrated sometimes.
Okay, so
I mean, respect for
not everything is working. He does think we're doing some drivel.
I want to know who he likes, though. Does he say who he likes? Like,
let's see what he says.
I also need to say that you guys hate most of the music I love, which gets me so frustrated sometimes. But it's an interesting take on the different tastes between different world regions, so I guess this means that you need to add me to the list of potential co-host candidates.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I could counteract your musical arguments. Hee hee.
Wow.
Great job. Great podcast. I never thought you guys would make it so far, but now I'm sure you will get to the end of this quest, and I hope to be there too.
Okay, so why you gotta
That
bum
kiss
us
of
out?
death right there.
Why do you have to
Marvelous.
bum us out with that part? I never thought you guys would make it, but you're going and I'm going to.
So this is just a regular person, like a regular human who found us on the internet.
I gotta know what his music tastes are. We gotta play some of his music so we can figure out if we actually do like it or not.
I mean, have we truly hated anything? I don't think we've. I don't know. I guess some things we.
Listen, Richard, thank you so much for listening from Spain. I can't believe you do it again.
Incredible.
What do we think about going international? That is our first international email, and I got to say to all our American fans, you're kind of out back. We're kind of leaving you in the garbage bin. We are now international. We're past our American fans. Sorry.
Do you guys think he's been listening over like a year period, or do you think this is crammed into like 4 weeks and like he's gone from 1 to 230 in a month?
He says following since the very beginning. So
wow,
maybe he's been doing it for 5 years.
Okay.
Right, 5 years. Yeah, 5 years almost this summer.
I'm sorry. I will be quieter.
Keep it down, Rob. What the hell?
Damn.
Guys, that reminds me. I forgot about this bit. Listen to me singing, and she catches me singing too loud and comes out. Listen, you can see if you can hear her at the end here.
Hey.
Did you hear that right at the end there? That's what it sounded like.
Play it again one more time.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, so that was what.
One more. If you do it one more time, it'll be 3 times. The only other time we've played 3 things is the Russ jacks off to cryptids. So do it one more time.
Hey.
There we go.
Rob, is there a way to slow that down, like 50% speed? Can you?
He's getting yelled at again.
Guys, she's looking at me.
Oh, you were.
No. I think she could hear you.
Well, don't look back, and then you won't know that she's there.
Yeah, just keep it going. Just stay chill.
Can you play it at 50% speed?
She got something going on tomorrow or what?
I cannot play it at 50% speed. Aaron, don't
Yes, you
ask what
can.
she's got going on tomorrow. That's not part of the problem. Okay, the problem is I'm a bad person. Oh, Aaron, she's okay. So can I just say this? I just have to say this about my wife. On Friday, I came home from work. On Thursday, I came home from work, working all day. Okay, I was going.
How many classes did you have?
I was going against an automated drill. Okay, and I won, so it's actually not a big deal. But I came home and my wife goes, "I took 2 naps today." Like,
2 naps.
how is that even possible? How do you fit in 2 naps? And it was like 5. I was like, how does nap 2? Listen, sweetie, I will be quiet. You got to go. You're stressing me out. Standing right there. Okay, I'm sorry, sweet. Is the fan on? Okay, turn the sound machine on.
This is what happens when you can make us start at 9:45 Central.
Look, I thought earlier was better.
Listen.
Earlier is always better.
Richard from Spain, thanks a lot. You got us in a ton of trouble. Okay, this is totally good.
Yeah, thanks, Richard.
Let's do our quiet rolling going.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you're apparently time to see what's her name? Princess Diana bit got people laughing in the gym too. That had to turn it off.
Who are these people listening to this podcast in the gym?
Yeah, I can't listen if I'm lifting anything. I'll drop it on my head.
Aaron from Minneapolis said she was listening, and she had to shut it off because she was laughing out loud in the gym. So, well,
that's great. Rolling going, Aaron. How's it going with you?
It's going good.
Rob, can you repeat that? I couldn't quite hear you.
Yeah,
if you could speak up a little, we'd appreciate it.
You have to talk into the mic a little more.
You have to talk into the microphone, or at least speak up. Enunciate, Rob.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Bumblebee. Let's hear it, Rob. Really let it ring out. It's going good.
You guys make me do the big bop, right? My marriage might be in serious trouble.
You know what else we got to do? Like, what do we used to do when we do like the harmony things? Like, hello.
I can't help myself from saying that. You got me. Aaron, rolling going. How's it go with you? Please, I'm begging you guys.
It's going great. Hello. Oh, we're going. Okay. My rolling going is that I listen to Bad Bunny now. And you guys. Yeah.
I have a good Bad Bunny song. I like one.
Yeah. I watched his Tiny Desk, and it's like, it turns out this guy's the biggest star in the world for real, for a reason. Yeah. Like, his music is good.
Oh, really?
I've been listening to a lot of Bad Bunny this week. Oh, the Tiny Desk rules.
My favorite is Chambea, Chambea. Check this one out.
I feel like you did that on purpose.
And this is the perfect time of the year because it's WrestleMania style. It features the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Rob, give it to me. Woo! Check this song out. This is a badass song.
Let's hear it.
Woo. Woo. Oh, my God.
Check, here we go. Pump it up,
yes.
Rob. Oh.
Nintendo in the video.
With buns. Oh,
yes.
Russell.
Yes.
This is great.
Wow, that's him? That's like super young Bad Bunny, huh?
Wonder if Richard likes this one.
You should ask.
Wonder if that was an email from Richard Flair, also known as the Nature Boy.
Call me Richard. My dad's Ric Flair.
I'm definitely a Johnny Come Lately to the Bad Bunny. So I've only listened to his newest album, Debe Tirar Mas Fotos. And I like the one called Close Friend. But we don't have to play it because this video is nice. This is like super young Bad Bunny.
7 years ago.
Wow.
You know, when thongs were thongs. That's what this video is telling me.
When men were men.
Yeah.
And you could... Yep. And the other thing that happened to me this week is that I went out on Tuesday night to go. I texted you guys about this. I went out on Tuesday night to go watch the Warriors, and I was at the bar, and I was at McNally's down on College Avenue, and it was pretty not too packed in there, just people out watching the Warriors. So I was like, I mentioned to Anna, like, oh, hey, the trivia guys don't want to go out tonight, but I might go out by myself and watch the Dubs. She's like, you should do it. So of course,
that's
like,
the dream.
Oh boy,
the lady says you should go out and watch the Dubs. You go, right?
Yeah.
So I hop in the Uber, I head down. I even texted one friend. He's like, I can't make it. I'm like, even better. I'll go by myself. So I, watched the Dubs at the bar by myself, which is fine. And then like people kind of start filing in.
Yeah.
Head into this back room. And like a couple people come up to the bartender and say, is it comedy night tonight? And the bartender's like, I don't know. The guy's usually here like 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. So it seems like there's going to be a comedy open mic. So I'm excited about this because I'm like, okay, this is like, I got to go and check this out just for Ross.
Aaron's got a good 5 minutes of jokes he thinks he heard me say before.
Yes, right. So the Dubs end up going till almost 10 o'clock. So I'm seeing people file.
Aaron's like, his opening line is, I just want to gain enough weight to fit in with the other co-hosts in my podcast.
It's super distracting to talk over Bad Bunny. I feel like Ghostface rapping over La La Means I Love You. So I see people filing in and out of the back room. And so I think like, okay, when the Dubs are over, I got to go check it out. So I go back there after the game is over. And a guy who had been the most there were like some borderline bad calls, whatever. There's bad calls in every game. The guy who was going the most nuts about the bad calls, like demonstrably crazy about bad calls, is on stage in quotes. And he's doing like COVID humor. Like, oh, I had my kids home with me for remote learning. It was terrible. And it's like, this is not
In
funny.
California, that doesn't really fly, right?
It just isn't funny. Like, nobody wants to hear jokes about COVID anymore. Like, no. So that one was over. So I sat and I watched like 3 or 4 people. At no point.
You should see me when I go to work. I wear my pajama pants down below when I'm sitting on the Zoom call.
Russell, yes. I heard like 4 or 5 people. At no point were there any more than 4 people in the audience in this room. Oof. There's people on a tiny stage with a mic, and the audience is. And so finally, at like 11 p.m., the guy who's hosting the thing hands me he packs a nice bowl of weed and hands me some, and that's great. And so then like I'm in this like serious backroom comedy shit, and another guy gets on stage and starts doing crowd work, and like is of course picking on me, and he's like, "Sir, are you a comic?" I was like, "No, I'm just a fan." He's like, "Oh, you're a regular person." It wasn't an open mic night. It was like a workshop. I was the only non-comic in the room at all. And so I'm like,
you're a civilian.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit. I was like, is it okay that I'm in here? And they were totally cool. They were like, yeah. Like, that's how we know if our stuff's funny or not. But all these people knew each other, and they were just there to like work on their stuff.
They're so fucked if you're the one in the crowd, Aaron. And I've learned this lesson that just because Aaron laughs doesn't mean it's that funny. It helps when Aaron laughs. It definitely helps, but he is not the most discerning person.
He's very considerate.
Now, Aaron, what was the best joke you heard?
The best joke, there were 2 that stick out that I remember. The last guy got up on stage, and he said, "Man, I'm up here. I'm only 5'8", and he goes, "I'm actually 5'5". I don't know why I lied to you guys about those 3 inches." And then he was like, I see stuff that's really sad. Like I saw a child's coffin. It's so sad because I thought,
what?
I'm going to have to be buried in one of those. Because he was like a really short guy. So that was that one.
Oh, okay.
Child coffin bits.
I texted Rob.
Hey, we'll see you guys later. We should send this guy a contract for Netflix. Do we know anyone over there?
Wow. Hey, I'm trying to think of a good tag on my coffin bit.
Guy who did a peeing in the shower bit about how like now I can't eat asparagus anymore because I'm always having to pee on people, and he was like, anytime I take a person home, like if I take a lady home, the first thing I do is get in the shower and try to pee on her because if she's like sticks her foot out and is like cool with this, then I know what I'm in for. Yeah. Like this is like some raunchy shit.
Jeez. Okay.
You asked. I wasn't going to do the bits. The worst bit. Yeah, there was a terrible bit.
How do you remember all the jokes?
I wrote some of them down so I could text them to Rob.
Hey, perfect copyright move here.
It's different coasts.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah, I'll get them on TV.
But they were very nice to me. The guy gave me some weed. I said like, "Hey, is it cool if I'm here?" He's like, "We're here every Tuesday night. Like, come on back anytime." So I'm gonna go check out the backroom comedy again sometime for sure.
Aaron, you're not going back to backroom comedy, bro. It's just you. It's the one person crowd.
Just me. Yeah.
Oh, what happened when a joke?
Because it was like,
what happened when a joke was no good? It got no laughs.
I mean, well, they would just be like, "Oh, you guys don't like that joke? Okay, I'll try something else." They all had their notebooks up there with him. Like, that didn't work. Okay, I'll try something else.
I can't imagine what that's like.
Because they weren't like really on stage, they were like practicing or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, like I haven't smoked weed out of a pipe in like 5 years, so I was like trying to figure out how to light the pipe and burning my finger. And the comic was like, "Okay, I'll wait for you till you're done to do my joke."
What is this place? What is going on?
Aaron, were you like, "Don't you guys have a pop can around here?"
Yeah, right? You can't get a joint. Just something simple. Apple. I don't know how this thing works.
Were you in somebody's apartment by accident? Did you accidentally go into their apartment?
There are apartments above this bar, but I was not in someone's apartment.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a great time. I mean, I love supporting live comedy, so that was a highlight for me. So Bad Bunny and live comedy. How's it rolling going with Matt?
Good. Rob, I got a song for you.
Let's
hear it. You don't mind playing? Sharon Van Etten has a new song called Idiot Box. It's all over 89.3 The Current. We play it all the time. It's just a great song.
Oh, yeah.
Russell, I've been saving this just for you.
Oh, finally.
I had a...
Will you marry?
We don't need to do this, but I've got my new favorite travel hack of all time. So work travel, all this stuff. So I took a flight, but don't play it over Sharon Van Etten. I want to hear this, but...
Don't do it.
So I went on a one-day trip, which usually means I am packing light. I'm going to go as Spartan as I can.
Yep.
I decided that, I'm going to pack this roller bag today, and I'm going to bring some along. that hopefully changes my life on the road.
Wow.
Yes.
So I brought my very own pillow for the hotel room.
Wow.
Oh.
And it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, Russell, ever. I cannot stand the pillows that are in all of the Residence Inn and all the Marriott places that I stay. So I decided to just bring my own pillow, and I got a wonderful night of sleep.
That's so smart, man.
This is some old man shit, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You packed your regular suitcase, and then because your packet light, your pillow also fit, or did your pillow have its own bag?
So I had my little double-sided folding hard suitcase, right? I put the pillow on one side and all my other stuff in the other.
Aaron, he had his bag packed, and then he put his pillow on a stick over his back, and he put a lot of cans of beans in there as well.
He had a 5-day shadow.
Excuse me, sir. We have a 1 bindle limit on this plane, okay?
Was there any part of you that didn't want to put the pillow down on the bed? We've talked about how people don't want to put their step on the floors in a hotel.
No, but you know what?
God knows what Rob's been doing in those hotels.
I pull back the sheets every time, and I give that a thorough look to make sure that it's clean sheets.
Oh, God. I have never pulled back the sheets, and you're so right.
They always
are. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave if they look bad?
Oh, no, if you stick your feet down there and there's something gushy down there, I mean, forget about it. That hotel trip is
hasn't happened yet, Russell, so I don't know. But I think I might just say, do you got another set of sheets? Like, I'll make my own damn bed if you got a clean set of sheets for me.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
So bringing your own pillow is your new travel hack.
That's my it won't work. It won't work all the time because I really do dislike carrying having like a rolling carry-on these days. Like
what prompted you to do it?
Your
this
backpack
time?
All the way.
Because I've been saying for a year that I just wish I had my own pillow. I just wish I had my own pillow, kind of a deal. And we was talking about pillows, Rob. I got my $120 pillow, which sounds nuts, but it is unbelievable. And it's cool on one side.
Can I ask you, Matt? Did security wonder at all when you were bringing through a life-size pillow of Carrie-Ann Moss's character from The Matrix? Did they ask you about that? Where it was?
They did not ask. No,
a full size.
No, one guy gave me a little bit of a look back, but that's about it.
Yeah. But you're not checking this bag. This is a carry-on, so you're not worried. It's not going through security where it might get opened and
right. Yep. Nope. It's going to be with me the entire. I thought about that. Should I just check it? Do I just check it and go?
And you made it very clear. It's in the bag. You're not holding it underneath the crook of your arm. It's not sitting on like a chair in the airport. It's in
a
your
rolling hard-sided suitcase. So it's on one side of the hard-sided suitcase. I shoved it in there and got all my other stuff on the other side. Zipped the other stuff
Matt,
up.
Did your wife see this happen? Did she? What did she say? What did she say to this?
You're bringing your own pillow, huh? And I said yes.
Okay.
So,
Normal stuff.
That's basically it.
Immediately picks up her phone, starts texting people. Now, Aaron, I have a little tip for you. And Matt, actually, Matt, I got a tip for you. And listen, don't get on me about the ethics thing again, but I'm just going to say this. What I do when I go to a hotel is I take the pillows from the airplane. They're fine. I sleep with those tiny pillows on my bed and I feel like a giant. When I'm on a bed with those tiny pillows, I feel like I'm
on a pillow?
When I wake up.
Pillows on an airplane.
Yeah.
The overseas ones.
The pillows. Oh.
There's probably one on your ones to Hawaii you probably had.
Forgot that not everybody's taking those flights that I've taken. Listen, you get a little pillow, and when you wake up in a hotel room with a tiny pillow, you feel like you're in Gulliver's Travels. You just feel huge. I mean, it's just for that moment when you wake up. And then it's not
you know what, Rob? I did think about taking, when we were over in Ireland on the way out of I did think about taking my pillow.
Yeah.
But then I thought, this isn't mine. No, this belongs to the airlines.
Okay. I see where this is going. Rolling going. Man.
Rolling going. Russell, how's it going with you?
I got a couple things. One, I took my nephew to his first Timberwolves game last week, which we had a great time, but we went out downtown beforehand. We went and got some food. My brother, upstairs roommate, and my nephew, the four of us went out. We stopped at Kieran's right across, and we were getting something to eat before the game, and we had a celebrity sighting.
Wow. Did you get the chicken shots? Did you get the chicken shots at Kieran's?
Did not get the chicken shots.
What are chicken shots?
Basically like chicken breast cut up into little squares or cubes or whatever, and kind of put in some sort of like honey sort of sauce, kind of like a glaze or something like that. They're fabulous. They're very, very good at Kieran's. Just wondering. Sorry, Russell, but
so we came across a celebrity sighting for our Minnesota fans. It was Channel 4's own political commentator, Pat Kessler.
Oh. Wow.
I do not know who that is.
That's good.
My brother looks at me and he goes, is that the guy that does the politics on CBS? And I look over, I'm like, it looks like him. We pulled him up. It was him,
Wow.
CBS's own Pat Kessler.
Now,
He is famously he's on K-Fan a lot on the Barrero show, and he's very, very good. He's very good. I like listening when he's on. But he's famously a huge Gophers fan. Like travels to all the bowl games and everything. And I think he's a huge sports fan. So was he going to the Timberwolves game?
It looked like he was probably going to the Wolves game, yes. So anyways, we went to the Wolves game. We had a good time. But one of the reasons my brother was in town is we were doing some cleaning. My mom moved a while back. We're going through a lot of some old stuff in the basement and everything. We went through it. We pulled out like these folders with all these stuff from when you were a kid, like report cards from all the way back then. Everything you've ever written, art projects, all that stuff. I narrowed it down. I kept a couple letters that I wrote about family members, but everything else got tossed. All the grades and everything got tossed. But there were two things that I really enjoyed that I came across and I kept, and they were treasured recipes from each of my side of the family. Wow. So family recipe books that I thought was very cool. So I thought I would ask you guys, do you guys have like a family recipe? Like, do you have stuff that gets passed down, or do you have anything like that?
I've got a book that I got from my grandma. It was her sister. So she was one of 5 sisters. And so kind of the whole lineage from those sisters down. It's about a 60-page typed recipe book. And I got it for Christmas one year, maybe in 2000, something like that, from my grandma. And I cook stuff out of there all the time. I made some molasses cookies out of it the other week and stuff like that. So yes. And we've got, famously, there's a couple soups and stuff that some desserts that we make every year. So I'm guessing, are these ones that you still make, Russell, or are they coming back to life for the first time?
I didn't even know the books existed, Matt. So, but it's from my mom, one from my dad's side of the family, one from my mom's side of the family. When you look through them, some of them look like they go way back, and others look like it was different people in the family from however many the last 56 years putting stuff in there.
Where they say like lard instead of butter and stuff like that.
There's a recipe for like horse steak, and you're like, oh, this is kind of.
But a lot of the ones for the one side of the family were baking items, Matt, and they had the rules of baking. I thought I would share with you guys the 6 rules of baking. See what you guys think.
Ooh, all right,
love it.
Oh, I want to hear it. Yep, I want to hear it.
Number 1 is be orderly. Be orderly.
It's important.
That's a good one.
That's like when I worked. You know what? That's the same advice I got when I worked at the hospital. And Aaron,
sorry.
And also when I worked,
I saw that one. Yeah, you saw that one coming.
Okay,
it's like 420 in the gaps.
You know what?
You saw that one coming out of the bullpen.
Were you stepping on punchlines when you were at that comedy?
I tried not to.
You were
I tried not.
It's called Womanade. He's yelling the punchline. Come on. Here's the thing.
It's a kid's coffin. A kid's coffin.
This is not the kid's coffin episode.
Excuse me, sir. Have some respect for the punchline.
Okay, how about
Number
this?
2 rule.
How about this? Okay, so you guys think, oh, you're so smart. This is why I'm Einstein compared to you guys less smart people. Orderly, that sounds like when I worked at fast food restaurants testing their drive-through mics. Hello, can you hear me? I'd like a number 2.
Orderly Gandhi's nuts.
Oh!
Russell, what's rule number 2 would be?
It says use good tools. Use good tools.
Use good tools.
There you go.
What do you think of that rule?
Russell, can I tell you right now? Our kitchen sets that we have all-time low right now. Missing like the half teaspoon thing. Lots of different spoons in there. Nothing matches. We need multiple spatulas in the last couple of months have broken. We have not replaced them. We are low on spatulas. I think I only have 2 pairs of tongs. Things are a disaster in the Rob
You might
household.
have to dump everything and just kind of do a reboot of that stuff, huh?
Come on, OXO. Give me those OXO stuff.
I got like a metal set of measuring cups and spoons a couple of years ago, and it's the greatest thing I've ever got. Best tools for baking I've ever got.
Good tools.
Got to hand wash them. Don't put them in the dishwasher. It's good stuff.
So Matt follows
number 3
to the T.
To the T.
Yeah, so orderly.
Oh, another good one from Aaron. Number 3, choose good ingredients.
Yes.
Choose good ingredients.
No.
Aaron,
Don't
what's
tell
the
me
key?
what to do.
What do you if you're baking
Brown
or you're doing
sugar.
some, what do you have to get for good ingredients? What's the focus?
Well, you got to get good butter, and you got to know if
There you go.
it's probably unsalted, but then you want to have good salt if you're going to put any salt in there. Matt knows better than me. Matt, what are the good ingredients?
No, I was gonna say then the butter you got to leave it out. It's got to get to room temperature. You can't have you can't just pull it right out of the fridge. You got to pull it out and either soften it or let it get to room temperature.
And Russell, I'd say if you run out of chocolate chips, use dog shit. You can use dog shit. It's fine.
Actually, I think that's on page 17 of the thing. Look here. Number 4 is measure accurately. Measure accurately. Wow. What do you guys? You guys measure everything, or you just kind of pinch in here, drop in here, and
I try to measure, but my cookies I didn't have enough flour, and that's because we were down to the bottom of the flour, and I didn't want to put we got another bag up there. I didn't want to put it in the flour holder thing, and so I said, we'll just be about 1/8 of a cup short on flour, and you could really tell they weren't as fluffy as they should be.
Russell, there's only one thing I measure when I'm baking. And that's my tone when I say to Jenny, can you please make me some cookies? I'm starving.
What are the odds Rob really uses please in that request? I'd say 0.
Not good.
Would you make me some cookies? Yeah, that does sound
Rob,
like me.
Let's pretend like we're in like a gym. And you got to yell across it to Jenny to make some cookies. How would it go?
No.
Jenny, please make me some cookies.
Got the stand mixer going already. There's some stuff going on in there. You got to yell over the sound of the appliances.
And where she can hear you through the headphones.
We're trying.
Jenny, make me some
get in there, make me some cookies.
They do give you two don'ts about measuring flour. I don't know if you guys measure flour, but these are outside of the 6 rules. But two don'ts about measuring flour.
Stems and seeds.
Don't dip up the sifted flour with the cup. It packs down again.
Wow.
Don't dip up, it says.
Don't dip up.
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't dip up.
And then it says, don't jar the cup on the table or wrap it with a spoon while measuring. It causes the flour to settle.
They want you to dip down to pick up flour out of the bowl. They want you to keep your
flour nice and fluffy. They don't want it packed down.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't want you packing it down. You're supposed to keep it fluffy.
Okay.
Number 5, mix carefully. Mix carefully.
I cannot imagine. Listen. When my mom...
Jenny, can you mix that cookie dough carefully, please?
When my mom saw me mixing a bowl of cookie dough and saw how strong I was doing that and had almost unlimited energy to move my arm in that motion.
Brought her back to her college days, huh? Sorry, I apologize. It was inappropriate.
Russell?
Yes,
that's my kid's grandmother you're talking about having sex in college. Okay? You think my kids want to hear about grandma having sex in college?
Maybe she was a baby.
Jenny might want to hear about it if you turn it the volume a little bit.
The last rule of baking, it says know your pans and oven and how to cool your cakes.
Oh, gotta cool your cakes.
How are we cooling our cakes? I mean, it's put it in the freezer, right? Like what are they talking about?
Like you gotta have it on a rack?
Oh.
Put on the rack. Yep. Got a little layer underneath it.
There were all these recipes in here. I saw one for lemon meringue pie. Maybe I'll have to send it over to Aaron because I know he loves the lemon curd or whatever.
Ugh, gross.
But I was going through the other family one, and I noticed this one also had random cocktails in it.
Wow.
Oh.
Some of them were submitted by my mom, it turns out.
That's funny, right? I have a similar. I have some recipes from my grandma who I thought didn't drink, and then there's a recipe for homemade eggnog in there, and it's like you can use brandy or whiskey, whatever you choose. Like what, grandma? So what are the cocktails?
I will give you guys one.
Did you make one?
Well, I'll give you one of her drinks. We can do the peach fuzz or the strawberry slush. Which do you want to hear?
Oh.
We got time.
We better go both.
Yeah, we got time.
We only got one episode tonight. We better hear both.
The peach fuzz recipe by my mom. Again, someone who I has probably had less than 5 drinks as long as I have been alive. 2 peaches with skin, no pits. Obviously, she's telling you take out the pits.
There, yep.
Wow. Yep. Sounds like Angelina Jolie.
Is she going to smash them?
1 6-ounce can of lemonade.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Frozen.
All right.
Wait a minute. Ooh. Okay. We're talking the freezer concentrate lemonade?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Yes.
Do you think, A, young Rob didn't use a spoon and eat the lemonade concentrate right out of the freezer, even though it's
dip up,
extraordinarily
don't dip
tart?
down.
Or B, I mean, Rob would do that, and it would give him quite bad canker sores. I had a lot of canker sores. Okay, guess which one. Okay, Russell, go ahead. Sorry.
The last thing is 6 ounces of vodka, and then you're putting it in
6
ice and
ounces?
you're blending it. That's the drink. That's the peach fuzz.
6
1 to 1.
ounces?
So you're hydrating the lemonade
seemed a little
concentrate
high.
with vodka.
Russell, read that again. It was a peach, a what? And then
2
6
peaches.
ounces?
2 peaches,
Yeah.
6 ounces of lemonade, 6 ounces of vodka.
Oh, it's
I think
I'm
that
gonna make
sounds-
one of these. Yeah, that sounds
But
great,
I would
actually.
assume you're putting in. It doesn't say
In a
anything but
blender, right?
ice, but no, it says blend with ice. So I'm assuming you
So
put
there's-
ice in there.
there's
That
your water.
dilutes it too.
I would drink one of these for
Wow.
sure.
Sounds delicious.
Russell, I would hammer a peach fuzz. I'm not gonna lie.
That feels like
sounds
what was
so
the
good.
what was the alcoholic drink that Leo had in North Dakota? Weren't there alcoholic slushies that Leo had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like what is it? Hard Mike?
Yeah.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. Yeah. That was basically in the slushy, yeah.
Man, I recently got excited because summer is coming, and I was like, I get to go back and use those North Dakota sound clips that I made.
Oh,
Can't wait.
Yeah, but school starts again in about 4 months.
that's true. It's,
Fuck off.
it's that-
Seriously, fuck
summer's
off.
not
That's
that
not
long,
cool.
really.
I'm not
School
kidding.
comes back.
I know we got in a fight last week, and I will fight you again this week, Matt. Do not say that anymore.
Okay. I won't. I will never say that
All
ever
right.
again.
Rob, roll it going. How's it going with you?
Listen, I think I found out what the worst thing to hear during sex is.
You found this or
Uh,
you just thought of it on top of your head?
Well, no, I didn't think of it. I kind of discovered it, let's say.
Okay.
I was having sex with my wife, and she said, I have a question to ask you later.
Oh,
And I was like, motherfucker, you cannot. If I was having sex and I got a work email on my watch and I checked it, that's how this felt. You know what I mean? I have a question to ask you later. And I was like,
oh.
well, I hope that question is, how'd you learn to use that dick so good? But I don't think that's what she's going to say. You know what I mean?
What?
Like,
You've been married 20
the
years.
fact-
She should. I mean, it'd be weird if she doesn't know at this point.
And here's the problem, guys. I thought it was going well. I thought it was going pretty well. I was proud of myself.
Putting in work.
I was like, this jujitsu.
You're right there in the pocket, huh?
My abs are tight.
Yeah.
We're both in bed by 8:15, between 8:15 and 8:18, apparently, because you have a 3-minute window. Because the melatonin's kicking in. But when she says, I have a question to ask you later, it destroys you. It destroys you mentally.
That's yeah.
And the worst part is, I do not remember what the question was.
Oh,
I was,
yeah,
gonna,
I mean,
God,
that's the
I was
important
hoping
thing.
I was going to say, what was the
By
question?
the time she asked me, for some reason, I was so sleepy. I was so tired. I do not remember what the question was. So that's on me. So
Did she bring it back up to you or did you say, hey, by the way, what was that question?
Favorite part of the show.
that would be so.
The album.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
if she brought it up again,
Did
you
you
just
finish my
know that
homework
she's.
from when we were having sex?
We are talking about Metallica, the Black Album.
Wow.
Okay, this is their. Aaron, do you know what album this is? What number? This blew my mind.
You number 5, I think, right?
Yes, this is
Number
their
5.
5th album,
Okay.
and
You got Kill 'Em All. You got Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and Justice for All.
at
Nice,
this
Russ.
point, Metallica was played on 10 radio stations in the United States. All the 4 albums before, because they were so hardcore speed metal. Every album they were trying to get faster and faster and faster, and they were going. And all of a sudden, this is. I mean, how else do you say this, Russell? This is the album where everybody says they sold out, right? I mean, that's the name. That's the main point of this album, right?
I would say they become more mainstream. They start to have more radio-friendly hits. But a part of it, too, is I think a lot of their songs before are like 9-minute thrash metal songs. And I think I was reading something where, I don't know if it was Newstead or Kirk Hammett or one of them were saying they reached a point when they were touring on the previous album and they're playing like a 9-minute song and they're looking out in the crowd and people are getting bored.
Wow.
Because it's the same song for 9 minutes. So I think more of these songs are a little bit shorter, but they're slower and heavier
you
than the
imagine?
thrash before.
You're
right?
seeing like
Okay.
Ride the Lightning. You're seeing Ride the Lightning and you're just getting bored. You're like, what? Who's getting bored to those songs? I loved them. Now,
That's why everybody gets stoned at like the jam bands.
Oh, right. Because
They get the 10-minute jams and you got to be stoned. But if you're headbanging for 10 minutes, that ain't good.
well, they pull in, they say, we want to make a more palatable album. So they pulled in a guy to engineer who worked on Dr. Feelgood, a guy with the perfect name of Bob Rock. And Bob Rock goes on to produce a couple albums for him. Play bass.
That's his real name, right?
That is, yeah. Well, I mean,
Robert.
Yeah,
probably.
Excuse me, Mr. Rock is my dad.
Yeah,
call me Bob Rock. Rock, I love his description of working with the band. He was expecting production to be easy, but he had trouble working the band, leading to frequent engaged arguments with the band members over aspects of the albums. Rock wanted Hetfield to write better lyrics and found his experience recording with Metallica disappointing. So that's a bummer when you have to tell the lead singer, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you do better lyrics?
I mean, are the lyrics that different on this one than the first four? Russell, you know their catalog better than mine. I mean, it's sometimes cringe in like a dork way, right? But I feel like that's the kind of their thing.
That is their thing, yeah.
I think if you were to look at it, there are more songs where if you were to try to parse a meaning, there could be a meaning like maybe more introspective than some of the previous albums that don't really have that, I think.
This album, they remixed it a ton of times. It cost $1 million. And like Russ said earlier, Ulrich, Hammett, and Newsted are all divorcing their wives while they recorded this album. Okay, that must have been crazy. Can you imagine being the one guy? If you're the one wife who's still there, you got to be like, okay.
And this is before they were sober too, right? Or were some of them sober?
I think this is. I do not think they're sober at this point.
This album has spent 10 collective years on the Billboard 200. It's the fourth album in American history to spend over 550 weeks on the Billboard 200 with Dark Side of the Moon, Legend, and Journey's Greatest Hits.
Wow.
What a third album to put in there, Journey's Greatest Hits. And they also recorded this at the same time as Guns N' Roses doing Use Your Illusion. And James Hetfield will talk about like Slash would come over and play and what they're making, and Hetfield would play for Slash. And I was just like, holy fuck. Can you imagine being in that studio and you're getting all that stuff and you're like, oh, Use Your Illusion sucks compared to your first album, guys. Yeah, Matt.
Just a reminder that there was these, 7, 8 albums that all came out within 41 days of each other in 1991.
Let's hear it.
Metallica, Pearl Jam 10, Use Your Illusion, Guns N' Roses 1 and 2, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Soundgarden's Bad Motofinger, and then Nevermind by Nirvana. All of those came out within 41 days of each other in 1981.
Aaron, my dad was at the album when they were recording this. And you know what he said to Slash? He goes, you guys should be fucking dolphins in the video. That's cool. That's what people want. Your fans want you to be a dolphin. They're not going to think that's weird.
That's what everyone wants.
Think of all the episodes we've put out in the last 41 days, like the Rob doing Princess Di episode.
Yeah.
What other episodes?
That's kind of my motor finger.
All in the last 41 days.
Yeah, so four of those are on this list. 4 of those albums now are on this list.
It's so strange. My wife got a package from Soundgarden because she got something in the mail from the Motorfinger company.
The good Motorfinger.
Use Your Illusions are
not the bad Motor.
Use Your Illusions are not on the list, are they?
No. So Metallica, Pearl Jam 10, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic's coming up later.
Also, just so we're aware, I do own this album.
Yes.
We have listened to it on my new Clips speaker.
Yes.
Wow.
It's got 4 sides, 3 songs on every side. So 2 records, 4 sides, 3 songs on every side.
Ooh.
I got to go through this one more time. So this is the 4th of 4 that are on the list. This album, Black Album by Metallica, Pearl Jam 10, Metallica, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. I guess we already did that one.
We did do that one, yeah.
Totally forgot. And then Nevermind by Nirvana.
Wow.
Crazy.
So, but this is the 4th one, and we're waiting. I mean, do you think it should be the 4th one out of those 4 albums? Let's just do a mini ranking.
This is 1,000 times better than the Red Hot Chili Peppers album.
I think it's better.
Yeah,
I think it's better.
For sure.
Yep.
Enter Sandman. James Hetfield wrote this and said it sounded so commercial that he then made lyrics about destroying the perfect family, a huge, horrible secret for the family, which is like, anytime you interview these guys about these songs, they're like, I wrote the darkest lyrics. And it's like, yeah, we get it. You guys are dark.
These guys are Bay Area, right?
El Cerrito, yeah. I went to the movies last night, saw Freaky Tales, which is awesome. It's set in Oakland. And they played a ton of Bay Area music, and it's set in 1987, so they didn't play any of these tunes, but they played For Whom the Bell Tolls, because, those guys are Bay Area.
Do you think there's
I was listening to this, and I was thinking of Mariano Rivera. The Yankees, and he would come in, and Metallica played this, I think, at his retirement. When they retired his jersey, they played out in center field for this. But, this was his famous song, and I was thinking if we'd ever done, the closer songs, and we went back and we did. Of course. Rob talked about the greatest closer band songs ever, and that was the first time we ever talked about the Macho Man. I went back and listened. because I wasn't going to repeat a list, but Aaron, I think, brought up Blaster Jacks or whatever that one is, the Tiny Tim. I don't even know what the hell that song is called.
Song either, but
that was the first time we ever had the Macho Man show up on the pod. It was the whole episode.
Wow. And we're actually doing we're not going to do any impressions tonight, so
nope.
It's actually going to be fine. We're just going to kind of move on. Nah, it's not.
This is got to be an all-time, like, top 10 hard rock song, right?
This one says
so the only
kids like this one now. Go ahead, Matt.
So you brought up Mariano Rivera. You have to, because we're all college football fans. Virginia Tech famously has this as their running out, and it is unbelievable. You should YouTube it right now, Google it right now, whatever. Watch Virginia Tech,
very good.
Enter Sandman. Have them watch when the team comes out.
It was very similar to when I would go to a St. Olaf basketball game. It was a very similar vibe. Okay,
Yeah.
Like, the music is blaring. Me and the three other guys who were there for almost the beginning of the game. We didn't quite get the tip off, but we're there like 5 minutes into the quarter. We're rocking and rolling. We're saying, yeah, hey, we love the threes.
Yeah.
Hey, is there going to be a dunk this game? Who knows?
Why don't you cheer a little louder like you did at the game, Rob? Cheer like you did that.
I'm not getting the vibe. Not getting the full vibe.
Okay, so I am going to move on here. Sad but true.
But I mean,
is there a band?
the album opener? That's crazy.
It is crazy.
The beginning of Sandman's is good, I know Aaron's talked about the best drop the needle moments, but that's as good of an opening moment to an album ever, right?
Yep.
So Bob Rock said to him, hey, every song on this album is in the key of E. And they said, you know what they said, Aaron? Isn't E the lowest note? It's like, well. And they said, well, yeah, but we did Dr. Feelgood. We did it in drop D. So they dropped this song down to drop D, which is why it sounds heavier. We heard that with Black Sabbath last week as well. Is there a band that has more of a sense memory for you than Metallica?
No.
I mean, when I listen to Metallica, it takes me back to about 3 places in my life. Like, I remember distinctly when I got in. This was such a strong weight room, locker room album. Like,
also, we were in like 6th grade when this came out. So like the kid who had the black Metallica CD was like, oh, his parents bought him this CD, and he's cool, and he listened to music loud, or she. In my case, it was Scott Bailey, but you know.
when they were playing that, I'll tell you again, that Metallica video where it had the guy with the landmine, and they had that video on MTV. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
That video was...
That is an all-time memory, I think, with Aaron, myself, and 2 of our other roommates in college. We played that, and we rocked out in a car like we were in
Wayne's
World. The Wayne's
Yeah.
World? Yeah.
Bohemian Rock.
All-time
Absolutely.
moment.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I wrote by this song, "This fucking rocks." And then I read that James Hetfield said, "Oh, this is one of our sillier songs." What? This is a silly song? This fucking rocks.
To me, this sounds a little more commercial than the others. This is kind of the first one that I was like, a little commercial compared to it.
Do you guys remember people saying that Metallica sold out? Like people getting worked up about that?
I think we're too young.
Yeah, I didn't know it at the time.
They were popular. We were like 10, 12 years old for us, but we weren't old enough to know Kill 'Em All, and we didn't know those. So like, I bet in college, like I probably got into Metallica in high school, then probably more into college, but I liked the Black Album. I didn't like Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
I didn't like Master of Puppets as much then. But if you listen now, like, I'll say if you go back and we listen to Sad But True, that song is slow as shit.
Yeah.
And I could see why the original Metallica fans hear Sad But True, and it's just like plodding along. And their early stuff was so much faster.
True.
I will say, Load came out in 1996. I do remember everybody calling that the sellout album.
I do.
Yeah.
I remember.
But I liked it.
From the, not so much on the Black
It
album.
had Fuel on it.
I mean, I
was
liked
such a
it,
good
right?
song.
Yeah. We saw the Load tour wrestle. We made the Reload
That video-
tour.
I only saw one tour of theirs, Aaron. You'll never guess which one it was.
Saint Anger.
Saint Anger, my favorite album of theirs. The Unforgiven. Now, of course, Russell, we have heard
Hey,
the song
Rob,
before.
was that question that Jenny was asking you about that one night about your reload?
Oh. Are you serious, Russell?
Oh, sorry.
You think I'm doing a reload? First of all, can you? I can't imagine, Russell. We'd be up till 10:46 easy doing that.
Oh,
There's
Way too
no
much.
other, up till now, there's no other song in their catalog that's anything like this, is there? I mean, is there anything on the previous 4 albums that does like this guitar sound or anything?
guitar sound is definitely different because this comes from this is where they do it's like the spaghetti western music at the beginning.
And we've heard this before, Russell, on your songs with sequels list. Because, of course, they had the Unforgiven 2 on Reload and Unforgiven 3 on Death Magnetic. Another one of my favorite albums of theirs. Wherever I May Roam, this is their fourth single. And this...
So, we were talking about the spaghetti. Rob, pull up Ecstasy of Gold. It's I don't know if... Rob, have you guys been to Metallica concert or not?
Yeah, I went to that same one you guys went to.
Yeah. So Metallica is the band I've seen most. I bet I've seen them 7, 8 times maybe. But they always start every concert with the Ecstasy of Gold, the Clint Eastwood movie. And it's always an amazing opener. So they do this and then it ramps up and then they come out and then they just start smashing it. Aaron, I was going to ask you though, one thing I was reading about Unforgiven with that is a lot of people like Dave Mustaine, who got kicked out of the band, said this was his favorite Metallica song because it was the first time he'd ever heard Hetfield sing.
Yeah, he really does.
Normally he's screaming and everything. He's just screaming, right? Uh-huh. But this is the one time he was singing, and they were talking when I was reading that he wanted to be like Chris Isaac.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's Wicked Game or whatever that song, but that was part of the production is you've got to sing normal. We can't just double track you. But what do you think of Hetfield as a singer?
I haven't thought of him as a singer, but when the Unforgiven comes on, you go whoa, he can this sounds nice. And he's it's cool. But yeah, the rest of the time he's kind of just snarling or growling or doing whatever the song takes. But yeah, the Unforgiven's totally different. That's part of why it's so striking to me is this is not their usual stuff.
Mm-hmm. Don't Tread on Me. Now, I always wondered where I recognized the beginning of this song, and they say it's a bar taken from America, the song from West Side Story.
Did we do the Wherever I May Roam? Did we do the sitar?
Where was the sitar?
Wherever I May Roam, the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Electric sitar.
Is that what that is? I never knew that.
Yes.
Who's playing the sitar there, Russell?
I think it's Hammond.
Wow.
Ravi Shankar, whatever the guy's name is.
I cannot tell you how high I got in Melby listening to a Ravi Shankar album. Holy cow. Number 5.
Go for it a little bit further, too. There's this clicking sound. I was reading about this. It's a 12-string bass.
Yes, I saw that.
Did you hear that in there, Rob, or not?
No, but I read that. I mean, a 12-string bass is it's too much bass. Why do you need 12 strings? That's 3 times the normal number of strings, Russell. That's a crazy number of strings.
What do you do with all those strings?
I can't imagine. Me, not much. Okay? I can never play it very well. But I bet that kicks ass, having a 12-string bass.
12 strings. So many strings.
Listen to this. This is the introduction is a, you know how they copied, remember when they copied that Bowie song about Andy Warhol and that one solo on Master of Puppets? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
They copied the song America from West Side Story on this one. Listen.
I saw that.
Right here. Listen to this.
America. Nice. That's cool.
Yes, fuck yes. Turks and the Jets are going to fucking fight. Yes. Don't Tread on Me. So good. Now, through the
I was reading on songfacts.com on that song, Rob, that a lady said, should you ever encounter a wild cougar on your travels, you should play Don't Tread on Me and the cougar will run away from you.
Smart. That's just good advice. Now we're the best wild cougar fighting podcast.
Thoughts on wild cougars, Rob?
Here is my hotel key.
Bring your own pillow.
Yeah, bring your own pillow. I've got 4 airplane pillows we can put under your waist.
Can you imagine the height of Matt's dating days? He shows up on the date, his pillow is in the seat next to him. He's bringing his own pillow.
And I hate to bring it up again, but he is bringing that Amazon triangle pillow. That's the part he didn't say, is that it is one of those sex pillows. Helps get the waist up there.
What one are we on? Through the Never?
Through the Never. Reflection on the Universe.
Rob, can you go to 220?
Yes.
There's some pretty cool guitar riffs on this, but there's also pretty cool solos.
Okay.
I just think, whoa. I can't get enough of this album. I just love it.
Same.
This kicks ass. Like if I was out riding my dirt bike through a construction site and this song came on, holy shit.
So this is like
I'd be doing shit on shit. Oh, I'm off the shovel onto the boards. I'm doing, the guys on the scaffolding are yelling at me, but I'm going and I'm doing a flip off the scaffolding. Oh.
I missed the whole, like, is this Metallica jumping the shark thing? Because I just remember, like, growing up as a kid, you saw guys in Metallica t-shirts and you thought Metallica was, like, scary and worshiped the devil or something. Yeah. And then this comes out and you're like, well, they're still kind of scary, but this music rules. And so I didn't know that there was anything, like, to think twice about. But I do remember seeing them live with Russell. And when they played this stuff and Load and Reload, it was, like, cool. And then when they go back to Seek and Destroy or Master of Puppets, the place goes fucking berserk. So, like, there's definitely I was 20 before I really realized the schism between Metallica fans. I didn't get it.
You know where I bet you started into Metallica? I'm going to throw this out there. March 8th, 1993.
Mission Impossible.
I think it's Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, I bet you're right.
I think that show, because that's what they would those guys, they'd sit there wearing the Metallica ACD shirts and watch those types of videos, right?
Yep.
I was always the Metallica guys who had the Metallica shirts at school. Of course, they were scary, but the real freaks were the Megadeth shirts.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody had a Megadeth shirt, I was like,
it's like Metallica's not hard enough for them.
Yeah. Every one of those guys became law enforcement somehow. Like every one of those guys are now in the state patrol. It's crazy. Nothing Else Matters. This was their third single. Got all the way up to 11. There is no Kirk Hammett on this whole song. It's all James Hetfield, including the solos.
Really?
First Dance at My Wedding. Yeah, good one.
Is this considered a ballad, like a metal ballad?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, right?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
I mean, this is a crazy...
I was reading, Rob. I thought you'd think of the kick out of this. August of 2021, this video surpasses 1 billion views on YouTube. 1 billion. Wow. Rob, I'm curious, what videos have you watched 1 billion times?
I mean, we haven't watched it in a long time, but you would not believe.
Oh, not the guy.
This guy who gets... now listen, Russell. He does not want to get in the balloon, and that is very clear.
Me in South America.
He does not want to get in there. So let's fast forward a little bit because you'll never guess what happens. He puts the balloon on his head and eventually drats. Can I just be clear about this? He's not turned on by being in the balloon. No. He's not. He doesn't have an enormous erection being covered in latex as the balloon loses air. That's not his thing.
Operating.
Oh, drat.
Oh, great. I'm becoming trapped in the balloon. Drat. Oh, I hate this.
He hates it.
Darn it.
Darn it. Oh.
How many times have you watched this, Rob?
I mean, everything about this room is scary.
44,927.
Look at the room in this video. Look how he has the pictures arranged. It's very creepy. It's like True Detective shit. I can't look at it anymore. All right, listen. Let's get into Of Wolf and Man.
I think the end of the album is still fun, but it's slow.
Wow.
All the epic stuff.
Everything's
up to like the first 8-10 songs. 8 songs.
It's like most albums.
But how could you keep up with the beginning of this album? I mean, listen to this.
I mean, it's probably a little too long, right? How many songs? 15? That's too many.
12 songs only, but they're all probably 6-minute songs.
This is a great song.
This is a good one, and I'll tell you what.
They're all great.
God That Failed. I like this one too.
I do have up right now. I am looking at my Metallica Excel spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, how many views?
Which has every song and every song rated on a scale of 1 to 10.
This normal stuff, by the way.
Normal stuff. Average score for the Black Album an 8.67.
Wow. Sure. Now, Russell, let's just
the median?
Let's just tell all the listeners from Spain who maybe don't remember 5 years ago we talked about this list. This is a spreadsheet Russell made where he was going to a Metallica concert, so he took every Metallica album, graded every song on a scale of 1 to 10. I listened to
the whole catalog and graded every song on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, and we
had an average for each
We heard that and we said, this is a guy we should do a podcast with. They're going to be so short and so nice. Okay,
I gave 5 10s on this on the album. I gave a 10 to Enter Sandman, Sad But True.
Yep.
Unforgiven, Wherever I May Roam, and Nothing Else Matters.
What's the lowest rated song by Metallica?
For me or ever?
For you on your rating system.
On this album or any album?
Any album.
I'm looking quick, and the first one that jumps out to me is a song called Shoot Me Again on Saint Anger.
Oh, man, I love this song. I love this album. 7 minutes, Russell. This song is 7 minutes long.
This was a 1. I can see that for sure.
Oh, this is them listening to like Korn and Limp Bizkit and being like, these guys have fucking got a great idea.
Yeah,
we should
if
be
you
doing
hear
rap.
this, you're like, please sell out again, Metallica. What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And just a reminder, all these songs, including that one, you can see them recording it on their documentary for Saint Anger. And it's brutal to watch because they're making this album, they're putting in so much work, and you're just like, oh, I know this is a huge flop. It's probably going to, Now, of course, I did, man, and I don't want to say anything. I did get that documentary on Napster recently. So that's on me.
Oh,
Hands up. Next up, My Friend of Misery. After a while, do you start to think that like James Hetfield is just kind of a bummer? Like he's just kind of a bummer to hang around with? Like there's no songs about him doing birthdays or going to a rodeo or...
They're making like the album. They've got like behind the scenes. I don't know if it's when they're making Saint Anger, but they're making one of their albums. It's like and they had like a therapist with them because this is aired when they're getting Hetfield sober. He's back with the band. And when you watch the documentary, I should look up the name of it, but there's a part where he agrees, I'm only going to work like 4 hours a day with you guys on this. And so he would leave and the other guys would want to be listening to the music and he would get
That's
pissed.
my agreement at work too.
Because but he would get pissed because they're working on the music and he's leaving. He's like, you guys can't be working on this without me. But he was only willing to put like 4 hours in.
Right.
He does seem kind of like a bummer at times.
Do they still tour right now? When was their last tour?
Yeah,
I was just there.
Oh, right.
Aaron, do you not remember the Russ Summer concert tour?
I do remember.
Metallica Day 1.
Yeah.
Green Day Day 2.
Yes.
Metallica Back Again Day 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And then?
I do remember.
Def Leppard Day 4. And Journey.
That's right. And Journey, right.
That's right.
Steve Miller.
Are they still touring?
I'm sorry.
Gosh.
My bad.
I mean, you might as well ask if there's a Buddy Holly tribute show going on in Waterloo, Iowa. Of course there is. Russell's been there.
I was thinking about you, Aaron. I saw AC/DC was in town at the Viking Stadium like a week ago.
Oh, nice.
And they had set up like a shop, and they had set up a tattoo shop where you could get free AC/DC tattoos at the concert. And it made me wonder, like, who's looking for a free tattoo?
Yeah, I'm not.
Would you ever get a free tattoo, or would you not insist on paying for it, Aaron?
I wouldn't want to get. I don't understand if you go to a concert. I mean, tattoos take time unless they're going to just do like a super quick AC/DC logo. No, it's going to be on your skin forever. I'm willing to pay for that.
It would be like planning your birthing class right before the baby's going to get born.
Just
the timing is fucked.
It's off.
It's way off.
No time.
Sweetie, I missed the birthing class, but I got this kick-ass Let There Be Rock tattoo. Okay? It's awesome. And it's really red, and I have to cover with a bandage right now, so it's going to be in all the photos of us and the kid. Me holding the kid, you're going to see the tattoo covered up with a bandage. That's on me.
What?
Okay, I put a sandwich. Never mind.
Oh,
Rob,
I didn't go to the birthing class.
You're getting a little loud.
Just keep it down a bit.
I didn't go. My wife will think this is funny if she hears the bit about not going to birthing class.
He was born on a Friday. Class was on Saturday.
When does the waitress come by? I don't know. I didn't go to the birthing class. I missed it. I screwed that up. I brought just hot dogs and mustard, no buns. That's on me. I misunderstood. What? What did you think this was? The Struggle Within.
Yeah, another bummer title.
Do you guys work with anybody who's just straight negative? Like, as soon as they start talking, you're like, oh, here comes some negative stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, those people exist.
I talk to some people at work, and they're just like negative all the time. And I'm like, God, aren't you just miserable? Like,
So many things you don't want to do.
Guys, that's it for Metallica.
That's it.
Black Album.
Wow.
They had a Japanese version of So What, but we're not going to play that. Let's get into the
like a Miles Davis
rating
cover?
systems. Yep, it was a Miles Davis cover. Doing a lot of chord changes.
Peeing your pants is cool. Consider me Miles Davis.
Rating system.
Oh, I should say this is the tour too, if you remember, where Hetfield famously pulled a Michael Jackson, ate a big thing of pyrotechnics right in his face, and had to go to the hospital for a little bit. So he didn't even get any money from Pepsi, like Michael did.
That's the infamous where Guns N' Roses wouldn't come on stage. This is Montreal where they burned the city down because GNR would not come on stage. And this is like honestly, this is Metallica is opening for Guns N' Roses at this point.
That's crazy.
And this is where they switch. This is where Metallica goes up and Guns N' Roses goes down.
Okay, right.
Can you imagine? What an awesome tour. Oh.
It is.
It would be a bummer, though, if you go see him and then just a firework goes right off in James Hetfield's face. Although, I got to say, of all the guys whose hair I bet would be pretty cool looking when it's ablaze, James Hetfield is right up there for me. It looks like it's
Carrot
quite
Top?
flammable.
Maybe Carrot Tops?
Oh, how would you tell? How would you tell? You'd go hit Carrot Top with an fire extinguisher. Oh, my God. We've reached the bottom.
Maybe there would be those blue flames. Why are there blue flames, Rob? What's the science?
Well, it's alcohol burning, Russell. Now, here's the thing. Okay. This is album 235 on the list. Okay. And again, does this belong in 235? If it does, okay, it is rolling, well-toned. It's perfect at this place. If this should be higher on the list, which of course is a lower number, we would have covered it already. It would be a better album. Okay. It's kind of like a NASCAR. The lower you are, the better you are. Oh, I got one. Normally getting 3 is better. If you're at the bakery, getting 3, better than 1. Not if you're Dick Trickle. Not if you're Dick Trickle. Which, by the way, that reminds me. Siri, make doctor appointment for Dick Trickle. Oh, God. Listen to me.
We're almost 5 years in, and this is your first Dick Trickle joke? Congratulations.
I know.
You waited this long.
Yeah,
you did it.
I don't have to edit out some Dick stuff later. Okay, have that ripped away from me. Now, or is this a rolling groan? Okay, this should not be this high on the list. It belongs way back. It is a kind of sounds like James Hetfield. Holier than thou. That would be lower on the list, a higher number. Okay, in this case, just like Amelia's cousin, of course, Dale, number 99. Oh, he was the number 8. I forgot about that. Number 8 car, famously. Now, do you think people are ever confused by Dale Earnhardt?
Wasn't he number 3? Was he number 8?
Oh, shit, he was the 3 car? Then this joke's not going to make any sense. But I already started.
Earnhart Jr. was 8. Earnhardt Jr. 8?
I'm looking it up.
Hey, Rob, is that a phone ringing?
No.
What do you mean? You did it with Princess Di.
There's no photo.
You're not going to do it with the old number 3 car?
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, he was the number 3 car.
Guys, if you think I'm tempted.
What's Earnhardt Jr.?
If you think I'm tempted to put.
Earnhardt Jr. just got sued by Lamar Jackson over the use of number 8.
What?
Read it. Pull it up, Rob.
Very crazy.
They have a lawsuit over the stylized use of number 8.
What?
Yes.
But Earnhardt Jr.'s been 8 first, right?
Should have copyrighted that shit.
No, I guess he didn't get to it quick enough.
Guess who they're suing now? Me for what I did to my dinner last night.
Ate that shit.
By the way, do you think they were ever confused when they said Dale Jr. is in the 8 car? And they're like, what? He couldn't possibly do that. It's made out of metal. Now, if you think I want to have Dale Earnhardt call in with NASCAR sound effects in the background, and he has a big Southern accent, he'd probably say some really funny stuff. Okay, like his favorite album would be Pink Floyd's The Wall. We're not doing that.
Oh, what about on the Patreon episode next week?
Oh, that's so good. Okay. Oh, my God. And I also got to talk to you guys about Bill Belichick's girlfriend. I don't know when we're going to do it. We got to talk about it.
Let's do it now.
We got to talk about it. It's crazy. Listen, I'm bailing out, guys. Here's the thing. What do we think? Rolling well toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan? Yeah. Aaron, what do you think? Black Album, Metallica.
Sorry, I was down the Dale Earnhardt rabbit hole for a minute. He won the race that he died in because he was the owner of the car that won. So he's like, his Wikipedia entry says he won. That feels like some Metallica stuff. I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I was ready to come into this like fully Like, this is Rolling Bone. This should be way higher. And I think it's Rolling Bone. I think we're way down in the 230s. This is like really fun music. I don't know. The other, like, I honestly don't know if I like it better than Blood Sugar Sex Magic. So I'm going to call it Rolling Boned and stop yapping at you guys because you guys will have better thoughts than me.
What do you think? Rolling Well-Toned, Rolling Bone, or Rolling Grown?
I think Rolling Boned. I think this album is better than Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I don't know if I like it better, but I think the album's better, if that makes sense. So if we're just looking at those four that we said were all part of that group of seven that was made within 40 or released within 41 days of each other, I think this should certainly be ahead of that. So at 186 at a minimum. So I think it's Rolling Bone. I think should be a lot higher on the list which means it has a lower number.
Russell. Okay. A Wolf and Man is what I'm thinking. Seeing a little bit of that chest hair. What do you think of this album? Metallica by Metallica.
I almost went sideways and said it was too high.
Wow.
And what caught me off guard is when you go and you start listening to a lot of Metallica and you listen to the early stuff, it is so much faster. It just feels like straight fire. And this is kind of slow, heavy, and plodding. Yeah. But there are commercial hits all over this. I love this album. If I had ever had to get my albums down to like 20 of them, if we had to do a tournament, this is staying in the collection no matter what. Mm-hmm. Overall, 8.67 out of 10 on my scale. This is
on the Rust scale.
Rolling Bone. It's got to be higher on the list. It's called it's known as the Black Album. It's so cool. Like if you say, "Oh, do you have the Black Album?" Everyone knows exactly what that is, right? And I would bet for our age, our demographic of dudes, everyone knows 5 or 6 of these songs. They come on at the gym, they come on, you hear it somewhere, you know exactly what band that is. Yeah. This is Rolling Bone. It's got to be higher on the list.
Unfortunately, you guys are incorrect.
Shit.
This gets a rolling a rolling There's no other singer that can get away with he's basically a bass drum in the band.
It's true.
Okay. I mean, don't call me a McCoy because this is one Hetfield I love.
How come we didn't even get one Lars? We didn't even get one Lars impression, Rob.
I like to play the drums on this song. I was thinking about something really heavy, and then we made something really heavy. I mean, every time Lars is interviewed, you're just like, I cannot like Metallica. It's like when they would interview Kiss.
He's so unlikable, right?
Oh, these guys are just, it's like when they'd interview Kiss and you're like, oh, this is disgusting. I don't ever want to hear these guys talk again.
Farts, right?
Oh, it's just terrible. Listen, we love the album. We think it's great. Next up, it's Shark Week. So we got Daft Punk's Discovery.
Like Discovery Channel? Is that the joke?
That's not the discovery I made as a teen, I'll tell you that.
Oh.
The dead body down by the railroad tracks.
When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time.
Never seen that movie either, by the way.
But you're just too
never seen it?
Look it up.
That's probably like a top 10 ones I've seen. We had it on VHS back in the day. So we just popped that.
I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack.
Rob, I was looking through my the family cookbook here, and I forgot to leave you guys the last rule of baking.
Mm-hmm.
It says too much baking powder brings all kinds of woe. Batter running over the edges of the pan, cake falling in the center, cracked, gummy, tough crusts, coarse, crumbly texture.
Wow.
And too little leavening may cause undersized products, peaked, dull crust heaviness, and leathery streaks. What the hell are leathery streaks in baking?
You know what? Wow.
It's time.
I've had to throw away some underwear that have some leathery streaks in them. I'll tell you right now.
Between that and undersized products, I figured this book was right up your alley, man.
I don't need that at all. I'm going to avoid that for sure.
Yes.
And now I'm going to remember a joke from earlier in the podcast.
I don't know if we had any jokes in this one.
Your Dale Earnhardt opportunity is waiting.
Hey. Can you guys just remind me later? I got a question I got to ask you guys.
Very good. Very good.